John Brown was 15 years old when he first began working as a pony herder on the Balmoral estate in 1842. He was born and grew up less than a mile away from the estate. At that time, Balmoral was being leased by Sir Robert Gordon. Gordon died suddenly in 1847 at Balmoral while choking on a fishbone. Queen Victoria and Prince Albert had fallen in love with the Scottish Highlands after visiting in 1844. They were enchanted by the wild beauty and atmosphere of the landscape and decided that they wanted their own private Highland retreat. Well, because of Robert's sudden demise, it was possible for Prince Albert to acquire the remaining lease on Balmoral Castle in 1848, paving the way for the royal family to establish their beloved Scottish home. When Queen Victoria and Prince Albert took over the lease on Balmoral, John kept his position as an outdoor servant. Prince Albert and John Brown got along well, and Brown was soon entrusted to serve as the personal attendant and guide for the royal hunting and shooting parties, a role that involved him constantly in the prince's outdoor activities. Prince Albert quickly recognized Brown's competence and forthright manner and valued John's capability. Albert often relied on Brown for practical advice on estate matters and trusted his judgment on navigating the often difficult terrain. Within 2 years, in 1851, John became the leader of Queen Victoria's pony. He was also tasked with keeping her safe on the Highland estate. John would help the Queen with her riding skills and even brew Queen Victoria tea when she was out on picnics. She told him he brewed the best cup of tea that she had ever tasted. He told her he had put a grand nip of whiskey in it. In 1861, Prince Albert died at the age of 42. Queen Victoria was utterly heartbroken. She began withdrawing from public life and was so grief-stricken she seemed to be turning mourning her late husband into her primary focus. The Queen began spending more and more time at Balmoral. During this time, she began finding solace in her friendship with John. Victoria's daughter, Princess Alice, noticed that she was only ever happy when she was taking pony rides on the estate with him. It was suggested that John go with the Queen to her other royal residences in England as a way to brighten her spirits. The Queen agreed, and John became her full-time attendant in 1864, a period in which their intense relationship truly blossomed. He was no longer just the pony leader. He was her trusted companion and protector, and Victoria came to rely on Brown completely, admiring his candor and strength. She famously wrote in her journal that he was so devoted to me, so simple, so intelligent, so unlike an ordinary servant. John treated her like a person, not a sovereign, and the nature of their intimacy was shocking to the court. Brown often addressed her with the familiar woman, which was a scandalous breach of etiquette that no royal servant would ever have dared. He would publicly correct her, once telling her to wait her turn for a drink while on an outing. Victoria's trust in him was so complete that she granted him exclusive access to her private apartments. He was able to be present in her private quarters without formal summons or being announced by others. When Queen Victoria was ill or needed assistance, John Brown was the only man she would permit to lift and move her. This shocking intimacy infuriated the court. They despised Brown's arrogance and familiarity. They gossiped openly. The Queen's children called him Mama's lover, and one official recorded that Brown sleeping next to her room was contrary to etiquette and even decency. The Queen doubled John's salary, decorated him with awards and honors. She also provided him a house for retirement at Balmoral. Brown remained the Queen's singular companion and devoted protector until his sudden death at Windsor Castle on March 27, 1883. The Queen was devastated, writing that life for the second time is become most trying and sad to bear. John was buried near the Balmoral estate in Crathy Kirkyard. The Queen did not attend the funeral, as it was generally considered inappropriate for a reigning monarch to attend the funeral of a servant. But she ensured his memory was honored in a significant way. She arranged for a statue of John to be erected at Balmoral, and she had a deeply personal inscription placed on his gravestone. She also copied an extract from a journal entry she had written in 1866 that was found with John's brother's things when he died. It said, "Often my beloved John would say, 'You haven't a more devoted servant than Brown.' And oh, how I felt that. Often I told him no one loved him more than I did, or had a better friend than me. And he answered, 'Nor you, than me. No one loves you more.'" John Brown and Victoria had spent 18 years in each other's company, almost as long as the Queen had spent with Prince Albert. When Victoria herself died in 1901, the depth of her eternal devotion was revealed. She left secret instructions for her burial to her personal physician, Sir James Reed. The Queen ensured a lock of Brown's hair and his photograph were placed in her hand. And most powerfully, she mandated that the plain gold wedding ring of Brown's mother that he had given her be placed upon the third finger of her right hand, binding them together forever. To this day, John Brown's loyalty is said to linger on the Balmoral estate. It is said he is the ghost of Balmoral Castle, appearing as a tall figure in a kilt, a protective specter reportedly experienced by members of the royal family, including Queen Elizabeth II.